But this is a concept out of one of the books that I already wrote. And I think there is a usefulness to socialism to a certain extent. But there's also a bigger use for capitalism. And how this country balances it is actually a really good system, where the super poor are socialistly given just enough to get by, where in a lot of socialist countries, everyone gets just enough to get by. And if you don't work, they send you to like a prison camp or kill you. But here, capitalist America in 2024, early 2025, who knows how it's going to be later this year, people work and they get money. You could start from being on welfare, aka semi-socialist, government provided welfare, where you're barely making it. And a lot of people just stay their whole life on welfare. They figure out, however it is, that there's ways to just stay on welfare their whole life. Who cares? It's hardly any fucking money at all. To pay the whole welfare, who cares? Really, like, and so many people are, like, so obsessed with, oh my god, there's welfare lady out there, and she's trying to take all my money and take it out of the taxes. Like, every welfare lady in the world, or in America, I don't know about the world, but every welfare lady in America, all that money couldn't go towards, like, putting a cap over the I-5. You couldn't cap the I-5 with as much money as it takes to provide all the welfare that any lifetime welfare getter person has ever gotten. Like, it's nothing. Cry about the cap that they need on the I-5. That thing needs to get capped every couple of years. And then, but anyway, so it's not really a lot of money with the welfare, and it's just enough for people to, like, live. And, if people work for money, that's where billionaires come from. You take a lot of risks. You work a lot. You do things that people have never done before, that they need. Like, we'll say Amazon. There was a bunch of websites, but this website just took off. It just happens that there's one, or there's really a couple, like, I mean, eBay and Amazon are kind of like on a wishy-washy, but, Amazon kind of a better program. But, like, the eBay, Amazon, they lived through the start of the internet. Probably they were the best ones. And they made billions of dollars. Should we go and rip their heads off? Should we go and take the websites down because they, should we, like, the guy that invented Amazon, we should go and, like, take half of his money and give it to, like, some old lady that he married when he was 25 and didn't know any better? I don't think so. I think they should just leave him alone, and if his 25-year-old girlfriend, and now she's 60 and she's crazy, she should, maybe she could have something, but don't take half of Amazon. I mean, people work, they get the money, they worked for the money, they didn't work for the government. If you want to work for the government, you can go sign up for working for the government. They have websites, it's called workforthegovernment.gov or whatever. Right? People that want to work for the government can work for the government. The government's going to make their money on their end, and then they're going to take your taxes out and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the program is with the government. But if you work, you should get the money. That's how it should go. That's what's capitalism.
So I think the problem is that it doesn't work honestly. So then people who have Amazon or eBay start getting tax breaks or breaks on the amount they have to pay for postage. So nobody can compete with them because their costs are lower. And they get things like PPP or whatever, the programs are that, like, oh yeah, now we're going to give them money because they employ the felons. And they aren't really doing that. They aren't really employing felons. Or they're doing it and they're getting the money and then they fire the felon.
Yeah, or they're doing it to the minimum to where they get the free money.
Yeah. And or
that's
the
another
felon can never improve from that.
And that's another
minimum
thing,
wage.
like, that's got to be dealt with I don't know everything there is to know about everything, and I can't do everything. But, some of those programs, like, I almost was going to talk about Tesla, and that guy that started Tesla, and I think he started with, solar panels. There's people that just take advantage of government handouts.
Which is funny because Elon Musk is now the head of the cut the fat off the government handouts program.
So you get these people that are all about the government handouts, and like Elon Musk or whatever started, with solar panels. There's a big handout for solar panels. A long time ago, this guy came out and he just made a bunch of solar panels. Then there's a big handout for electric vehicles. This guy came out and just made a bunch of electric vehicles. And so he's filling that gap where the government programs were paying, and it turned into something giant for just one guy. Could have thousands of people started, electric vehicle programs? Maybe, but nobody wants to do anything. So if this was not a capitalist system, and it was a socialist system, then that government thing, there would have been 1,000 different small places that made nothing but solar panels, thousands of different small places that make nothing but electric vehicles, and there wouldn't be a Tesla, and there wouldn't be whatever that guy's solar panel company is. Those things, they would have just been like subdivided into a bunch of like city, municipality, type organizations or whatever, or it would have been done government-wise. But I don't think the government even has that kind of, people to manage those kinds of businesses. You can't find like a business manager, a electric vehicle factory manager. Like, that doesn't exist. And those people, wherever they are, they're not applying for government jobs. And what are you going to do? You're going to force all of them to work for the government? A lot of those kind of people, you can't get them off vacation. You can't force me to work. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to grow food. If you took all my food away, I'd go outside and grow food. So, you can't force people to work. Or, I mean, it wouldn't be easy. By the time somebody watches it, there's probably going to be a bunch of people getting forced to work.
Well, we are forced to work.
You haven't worked ever. she's 70 and she hasn't worked ever.
I had a real estate brokerage that was the bomb.
Yeah,
And
she
then
was a
I had-
boss.
And then I had a estate sale company.
Yeah, she
that
opened her own
was
companies or whatever. She never had a
5-star.
job.
Everything that I've ever done has been 5-star.
No job ever.
I decided to file a lawsuit.
Yeah, that's not a job either.
won against a bunch of
It's
attorneys.
still not a job. Still not a job.
$1.5 million.
Okay.
But so now you're saying that you're kind of talking out of both sides of your mouth.
What?
Because you're saying that we should have capitalism, and I am the ultimate capitalist.
Yeah.
I go out and make my own work.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is
And I have
people
clients.
wouldn't have had your store if it was like the government made you open the store.
Yeah, the government could not tell me to open up a secondhand store.
Yeah, the government
And
never
show up
would
every
have.
day.
They would have never thought of that. All that stuff that you were
Yeah.
getting, all that stuff would have just got thrown away. So it
Right.
was a big save for all of those things.
Everybody profited.
all
from
the
right
all the
from store,
customers profited compared to just going and buying new stuff.
Right?
All the people who were selling you the things profited compared to just throwing it away.
Yep.
You know, or selling it themselves.
Giving
That would have
it
been
to
hell
a
on earth.
charity,
Yeah, or giving it to charity, like.
and then the charity who profits from that.
Yeah, then the charity would be selling it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're stealing from charity.
No, I
But,
actually I went to charity auctions.
Yeah.
And bought stuff.
Yeah,
and
like you're
resold
buying
it.
from the charity
I was
to
a
sell it.
middleman.
Like, but like the whole buy and sell business, like, that's its own thing, and it's a business, and that's why there's capitalism, is so that there's business,
Right. And it
Like,
works.
and it works, and that's
as
why
long as
whatever,
we don't get Susan Weaver getting
Yeah.
a job as a judge
whatever.
and deciding to take away everything that I have. And then I say, well, I'm not going to go to work anymore. I'm going to get a government handout. Because why should I go to work? Susan Weaver is just going to give it to her friend, William Zapp White. And whoever his client is.
Yeah.
So that's why it doesn't work. Capitalism doesn't work because the good capitalists like me, who are productive, who come up with really like unique ideas that are popular, will, some of them become billionaires, like Jeff Bezos. But others of them have Susan Weaver come in and steal their shit.
Yeah, people, they, like, and that's what I was saying, about, I think before I started this video, we were talking about the government system and the court system are all set up just to rob people to death. Like,
Exactly. And the courts and the
you get all
jails are
these
set up-
people.
That's where we started, was our people slaves.
Yeah.
And yes, the government does